Are you thinking about starting a YouTube channel, but you're really nervous about seeing yourself on camera? You're worried about the sound of your voice? Well, in this video, I'm going to give you 5 tips on how to get over the fear of seeing and hearing yourself on camera. Hey everyone, Steve Thomas with Video Marketing Coach. So, getting over yourself, seeing yourself on camera and hearing yourself. This is probably one of the scariest things for most people. Right? I believe the number one fear in the world, public speaking, right? People just are terrified of it. And I have to admit, when I first started public speaking as a fine art auctioneer over 15 years ago, that was extremely nervous for me. I'd never stood on a stage and spoke to hundreds and hundreds of people before. But I have to tell you, it's like anything. With practice, it becomes perfect, right? But there's a few little things and a few tips that I've learned over the years that hopefully will help you as well. All right, tip number 1 is to record yourself regularly, but start your videos small. Start with something that you can manage and then watch it back, right? And then if you feel like you need some tips, then ask a trusted friend, to take a look at it. Like, what do you think about this? How did I sound? And then, make your adjustments and go from there. Tip number 2, practice mindfulness. It's to become aware of when you're becoming anxious, right? When you are feeling a little bit overwhelmed. And I think once you start becoming more familiar with these feelings inside of you, you can deal with them a little bit better, right? And instead of, feeling very anxious, you might be able to turn your anxiousness into a form of excitement. But I think before we get to that point, we have to start, understanding what happens with ourselves. And mindfulness is a great strategy. Now, if you want to go a little bit further, I have got really bad ADD. And the one thing that's happened that's really helped me in my life has been meditation. Every single day meditation. It allows you to quieten the mind. It allows all of that external noise to go down, because I think that you have value to bring, but you've got voices in your head that are saying, who do you think that you are doing, going to be doing that? Or you can't do that. That guy's got an English accent, or whatever it is, right? And when you're able to quieten the mind and start becoming more centered and more focused, you're really actually able to achieve extraordinary things. Tip number 3, prepare in advance. So if you prepare in advance, you can kind of cut down on that anxiety and that feelings of being unsure and not knowing what to do, because you already have a plan. So when you're preparing in advance, how I recommend that you prepare and create every video is like a great book. Every great book has 3 parts to it: a beginning, a middle, and an end. So when you're creating or planning your content, create it with a beginning, a middle, and an end, right? Plan where you'd like to video that ahead of time. Maybe go out and check the location ahead of time. Make sure it's not really noisy, or it's not too bright, or, make sure that the setting is correct. Like, do your homework and your due diligence before you go out to shoot. Maybe do a little practice on your cell phone, recording yourself, so that when you go out, it's not the very first time that you've done it. And as I mentioned to you before, practice will make perfect. Tip number 4 is to get feedback. As I said to you earlier on in tip number 1, if you're struggling and you're not sure whether what you're doing is great, do ask a trusted friend or family member. You are more than welcome to send me or tag me in any of your videos. I'll take a look. I'd love to, offer you some free advice. You just really need to look at what other people are saying. Take some of it with a pinch of salt, but if you see the same comments over and over again, that you're speaking too fast, or you're too quiet, or you use your hands too much, which I'm often very guilty of, then you can start being aware of those things. And when you're aware of them, you can start changing them. Tip number 5, embracing imperfection, right? We're not all perfect, and you definitely aren't going to be making the very best video of your life in the very first video that you do, right? Just understand that. But the great thing about video editing, video and YouTube, is that I'm not publishing this live. No one's going to see the errors and the fumbles and the mistakes that I make. Like, don't get frustrated with the process, because you are going to make mistakes. You are going to not have your best days, but, remember that it's a process. And, with time, you'll get better. and you'll still make mistakes even when you're a professional and you've been doing it 10, 15, 20 years. But it's all about embracing the imperfections and not trying to make everything perfect and putting too much pressure on yourself. Because, of course, if you put pressure on yourself, you're not going to enjoy what you do. It's not going to come across well on the camera, and eventually you're going to quit, right? So that's not going to be good for anybody when you throw the towel in. So hopefully these tips have given you some confidence, that have helped you understand that it's not about being perfect. It's about doing your best, and you will get better over time when you're able to reach out to your audience, when you're able to listen to what the feedback is that you're getting from your family and your friends and your viewers, and then you start making it your own from there. So if you need any help with that, I would love to help. You can find more of our information on our website, thevideomarketingcoach.com. But for now, thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet subscribed to our channel, I really appreciate it if you do so. But for now, have a great day, and I'll see you again soon.